is the nightcap. I call it the World 600. It should be the World 600. It should be World 600 presented by Coca-Cola. I'm rebranding it. I think the Coca-Cola 600 name needs to be dropped off. It needs to be World 600. But I digress. When I thought about who was going to win this race, Tom, I sat there and I was like, probably within about 3 seconds, it popped into my head. And I'm sticking to it, sticking true. This man was robbed.
This is Jay from the Dega Boys, reminding you to like this video if you're enjoying it so far. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to see more great content like this. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay notified of all future uploads on this channel. Thanks for watching. Now back to the video.
At Kansas, he won that race. You can't ever tell me opposite. I've seen the footage. I've seen the timing and scoring. This man won Kansas, everybody. He got robbed out of it. He got robbed out of Darlington with that Reddick move that was just a little too aggressive. I think you lose 2 races, you come back stronger than ever. He's going to take the longest race in NASCAR. I mean, it's not how it used to be with the survival factor, but you know who's going to... The cars that are fast in the daytime are usually not the cars that are fast at the end. And I think that by the time we get into mile 400, mile 500 even, this man is going to be the man that takes the victory this weekend. It'll be Chris Buescher, Christopher Buescher, Bobby Buescher is going to win the Coca-Cola 600. And then my dark horse, I'm sticking with this guy as my dark horse pretty much for the rest of the season here. He is absolutely the ultimate dark horse. The career turnaround pretty much put this team on his back and made him relevant again. I'm going with old Lyle Gregson as my dark horse. We'll see him by the end of this race.
Absolute fire picks, by the way. I actually jumped into the Discord and I was, reading some documents that we type up for our podcast, and I was typing in mine and I saw Jay's and I was like, man, great minds just think alike, do they? But I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share the love on the dark horses. But for my favorite, I'm not gonna share the love. I think you'd be absolutely crazy not to choose Buescher. It's just so freaking fast. That RFK team has done the turnaround of a century. What we have seen with RFK is like what we would have seen with AJ Foyt starting winning races again. And not only on ovals, but on road courses as well in the IndyCar series. What we've seen with RFK has been a motorsport feat of astronomical proportions. And I think that it does not stop. Brad Keselowski came out and said, we made a lot of organizational changes to RFK in the offseason that were painful. He is willing to take that step to win races. He's willing to go through that heartbreak, to go through that pain, to go through the growing pain of getting that team turned around. We are going to see that 17 win championships. We are. It is not a doubt. That is going to happen. Can we see Buescher in the Final Four this year? Absolutely. We absolutely can. I don't have nothing else other to say than that. I'm really high on RFK right now. Dark horses, I was also going to go with Gragson, but I think someone typical of Gragson right now is Gibbs. I think Gibbs is a great pick for a race like this. Gibbs is one of those drivers that I kind of view in the same light as Takuma Sato. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a good car, and what I mean by that is what NASCAR has mandated them, not what in terms of equipment. But Gibbs is one of those that will capitalize. He has the pit team. He has the strategy. He just needs to translate it on track, and I think that why not win the World 600 as your first race?
Wow, I kind of was thinking down the same line as you guys when I was like, literally, I was kind of unsure about this, so I was kind of just throwing anything at the wall and seeing what stuck. The one thing that popped out to me the one driver that popped out to me that I thought was going to do really good in this race. And I don't know why, I just feel really good about his name. I feel like he's catching his stride. But it is BK, have it your way. Brad Keselowski is going to win this race. Absolutely. And my dark horses, I'm not picking Lyle Gragson. I'm not even considering that. I'm kind of disgusted that name popped up. But my dark horse in this race is, man, I just want to see the guy win. I just want to see him win. He might have a bad day. Who knows? I really don't know. But I'm picking him to be my dark horse because I want to see him win so bad. But I'm going with Alex Bowman, man. Come on. You got to stop disappointing me. Come on, Bowman. You got to win. I want you to win so bad.
Well, there you have it. Those are our picks for this weekend's World 600, the nightcap to our triple header watch party. Our NASCAR fantasy picks for this weekend's race at the World 600. My driver lineup in fantasy is Chris Buescher, obvious reasons. I'm going to take two Penske's. I'm going to go Logano and Blaney here. Blaney won this race last year. Logano seems to find himself off that milk carton, so I'll put him on there this week. And then I'll go Larson and Hamlin. Just because I have a feeling Larson's going to do pretty good this weekend. At least in one of the races.
Didn't Joey Logano win a race or something?
Last year or this year? Because the only one he's won is the All-Star.
Oh, did he win the All-Star race?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't really showcase it because the fight was going on, so we didn't really know who won.
My fantasy for the 600, it's obviously going to be Buescher. I'm going to go with Byron, just because I think that Byron can bounce back here at Charlotte. And then I'm going to go with Hamlin, because Hamlin's just going to be good. He's just going to be good. I'm going to go with Reddick, because Reddick, even though with his little debacle he had at Darlington, he's still stupid fast. Definitely going to be fast as a Toyota. So that's why I'm choosing him. And then for my other one, I'm going to go with Gragson. I really do feel like Gragson's going to have a good weekend this weekend.
Yeah, those are some good picks. I tried to heavy load my lineup because this is the race that pays the most in fantasy because he got the 4 stages. So I was like, I'm going to front load the heck out of my fantasy lineup. And then matchups, me and Tom talked about this. These matchups suck, man. These are the worst matchups we've had in a while on fantasy. This is bad. I looked at them, and the first one is Larson v. Byron, which I was like, okay, we got a good lineup. I'm going to go Larson over Byron here on this one. I just feel like he's going to do better in the 600 than he does in the 500 for obvious reasons, so I'm going to take Larson here.
I'm actually going to take Byron. I don't think that most people may realize the stress that Kyle Larson's going to be going through with the 500 and the 600. I was thoroughly surprised what Kurt Busch was able to do when he did it. Unfortunately, he had a motor blow after a P6 finish at Indy. But he was running top 10 all day. But, do I put those two in the same category? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, what we've always seen out of Larson was 30-lap dirt features and then going to run a cup race. Not a 500-mile race, 200-lap race, and then coming to a 600-mile race. So it's going to be interesting to see what Larson can do. I'm going to err on William Byron being able to do better because of him not having to endure the 500.
Alrighty, and then the next matchup, this is where it gets bad right here. Missed opportunity by NASCAR. We got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. versus Jimmy Johnson. Why wasn't it Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse? They've done this in the past. They just absolutely flopped on this one. And this is a no-brainer. I mean, I'm taking Ricky, obviously. It's not even close. Jimmy, at least thankfully we got the money team back, and we have, who else is on the entry list? We got NY Racing. At least Jimmy's going to have people to race against, so that's an upside. But I'm going to take Ricky over Jimmy.
Do we need to explain any further?
No.
This was a horrible matchup. Of course I'm going to take Ricky. It's easy points.
Yeah, and then the next one is Blaney v. Busch. So we should have Busch versus Ricky. Blaney versus Logano would have been a perfect one. Team battle there. But I'm taking Blaney over Busch. This is easy. I mean, He won the race last year. It's Penske's been on a roll, and they seem to find themselves at the front of all these marquee events. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm taking Blaney.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer as well. It's Blaney. I mean, it's another terrible matchup. It's just crazy.
It's great. It's crazy. And then and then we get Logano versus Reddick, which is so dumb because we could have Blaney Logano, and now we get Blaney or Logano versus Reddick, which we should have had like Reddick v Bell or something, or Gibbs v Bubba. Would have been a good one. But I'm gonna take Logano over Reddick. I know Tom picked Reddick as his dark horse, and I figure he probably would take Reddick here. So I'm gonna go opposite with Logano over Reddick.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose Reddick just because of just pure speed at the moment.
All right. Well, there is our NASCAR fantasy.